I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald with Greenslate One Incorporated, and tonight I've got a very special guest for you. I'm joined by Clifton Pierce. Good evening, Clifton.
Hi, how are you, young lady?
All right, thank you for joining us. But before we get into Mr. Pierce here, I just wanted to let you know that I'm brought to you by Greenslate One Incorporated. Greenslate One has several programs designed to assist ex-convicts, including reentry programs, feeding the families of Inglewood. They also have a Kirby's Kids Camp, and last but not least, my favorite is the community service program through the Circuit Court of Cook County. So if you have some community service hours you need to fulfill, please call Greenslate. And let me show you their information. You can reach Greenslate at 217-600-1846. Their email is greenslateinstitute, 4, and then justice@gmail.com. And their website, which if you want to visit it, is at Greenslate Institute, once again, 4, justice@weebly.com. Here you go. And now this is a live interactive show on CanTV Channel 21. And we're also streaming online at cantv.org/hotline. And tonight we're going to be finding out more about Mr. Pierce and what he's doing out there. And for the next 25 minutes, you're welcome to call in with any question, concern, or just to say hi. And please participate in the show. The number to dial is at the bottom of your screen, and it should be 312-738-1060. And of course, I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald, and let me just introduce myself. That's Kowalski McDonald, just like McDonald, of course. And to help you remember my name, it's coal. It's a picture of coal. And then we have a beautiful brick wall, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Last but not least, some skis. So if you put the coal and the wall and the skis together, you get Kowalski. And here's my little friend, the koala, and he's on skis. Once again, to help you with the Kowalski there. And of course, some people, I know you're tempted to call me Kawasaki, but no, it's not Kawasaki, it's Kowalski. And I'm 100% qualified. So let's hope everybody remembers it's Kowalski McDonald. And I wanted to introduce Mr. Pierce. Good evening, Mr. Pierce.
And how are you, Jan?
All right.
Great.
And can you tell our watchers here a little bit about yourself?
Well, originally, I'm from the South, born in the South, Mississippi. And I came
what part of Mississippi?
down in the Gulf, a town called Heidelberg, Mississippi.
So you're used to this weather then, I'm guessing.
Oh, I've been here 100 years. Yeah, I'm used to this.
This is nothing.
No, it's a walk in the park. And first of all, I like to wear clothing, so I appreciate all the different seasons because I have something to go with those seasons.
All right. And I hear you're doing something in politics.
Well, originally, I come out the nightclub business.
Oh, okay.
You know, I ran some of the top nightclubs on the South Side, the Tiger, Sweet Georgia Brown, Fluky's Lounge, East of the Rhine, as I presently operate with Motel Barnes, and the Apartment Lounge. So I've been in the public life ever since I've been in the life. You know, come out of high school and went to CBS High School, majored in machine shop, tool and die maker, and at the time, they didn't want no young black boy making $13, $14 an hour in 1967. And Washburn Trade School wasn't taking black boys for apprenticeship. So I ended up doing something that I didn't major in. And fortunately for me, I was able to do a good job with that. And then next thing you know, I ended up in the nightclub business.
Fantastic. And are you interested in politics? Are you running for
Not really. I'm interested in my people.
The people,
Okay,
all right.
Yeah, okay. I'm interested in my people. Running nightclubs, Sweet Georgia Brown. I got 500 people in there on a Friday night, and I got to try to get them in and out of there in the same way they came in. So I've been managing people all my life. You know, when the police get there, the incident has already happened. I've got to resolve it before it happens, you know. And so down through the years, I've had a great rapport with people, you know, from all my clubs. Matter of fact, in 40 years of running nightclubs, I never had to call the police. You know, I had to be the police, you know. I walked up on guns and knives and domestic disputes, the whole 9 yards. And fortunately for me, when I say something, they say, okay, Cliff, you know, okay. So they go along with me. So I have that kind of power. So at this fall of my life, the Father has a word. He has a purpose for me that for me to be out here that long and survive without getting caught up in all the situations that can happen, I'm here now to basically serve my people again. Only instead of liquor, I'm serving them hope and life, especially when it comes to our kids. I'm all about the kids.
Well, Cliff, how are you serving people with hope? How are you serving people with hope?
Well, first thing I want to do, I want to reinstitute the family. Before you go clean somebody else's house up, clean your house up. Okay, so know what goes on in your family. Years ago, and I hate to use his name, seeing where he's at now, but years ago, Bill Cosby had made a statement about the limited amount of time that parents talk with their children, and it was astounding to hear that. And this is before even the computer and the smartphone come out. And like now, I live in a house, bedroom upstairs. I got 5 or 6 grandkids downstairs in the living room. I come to the stairs and look at them down there. Wasn't a sound being made. They were all tweeting.
They're on their phones, right?
They're all tweeting.
There you go.
One calling the other from the other side of the room. So we're not getting our communication skills that I think our children need, along with the fact it's about the kids. I'm going to give you an example that I just posted on my Facebook page about LeBron James. Okay, now LeBron James was the best ball player in these playoffs. He scored more points. He's the #1 ball player in the country, but even he lost. So my whole situation there is there to tell young people, you have to surround yourself with people that are winners. Okay? You can't do it by yourself. Basketball is a team game. Life is a team game. When choosing your mate, your children in the family, the whole 9 yards, even your community. One of the problems I'm running into that I'm noticing, I'll say, is how people don't speak to one another. How dare you walk in a room and don't speak to someone? So I'm trying to reinstitute that family. I want kids back out on the sidewalk playing hopscotch, jumping, playing marbles, the very thing that I grew up being able to do. And by the way, I came here from the South because my parents had died. And my oldest brother, he was 23 years old and I was 5. And my oldest brother came down and got me and my sister and raised us. So I know what it's like not to have parents. I would never let the kids in school know that I didn't have no mother and father, but I did, my brother. And my neighbors were my mothers and fathers. The key people on the block knew that my brother was raising us. And so therefore, I know the importance of a family. I know the importance of a man. A woman can be a great provider. She can be a great provider, but she can't be a man. And a boy needs a man in his life, just by nature. And when he goes off to school, first thing he run into, elementary school teacher, she's a principal. This kindergarten teacher, she's a principal. She's a female. The gym teacher, if they got it, she's a female. So only time he runs into anyone that's what he's naturally gravitating toward to is a gang member. That's the man in his life, and it's by nature that a boy wants to be dominated when he's developing in those situations like that.
I don't exactly agree with you there, Mr. Pierce, but
Do you really?
let's just talk about, I guess you're running for office this time around.
So that's why I'm running for office in Woodlawn, which consists of Woodlawn and Englewood. That's the 20th Ward. And by me being in this nightclub business as long as I have, some of these people in my community, I introduced them to their wives. I remember when their mother got pregnant. So I know the whole generation, and this is another thing I want to say, is that there are 600 gangs in the city of Chicago, 700 gang members, okay, 70,000 gang members. How can you actually try to be an elected official if you don't talk to these people? In one household, you may have 4 generations of a gang. The grandfather, the mother, the father, the kids, all the way down to the baby. And so therefore, you have to talk to these people. I know the OGs, as we are called, we don't want our kids had to go through what some of these kids have went through. I was about 21, 22 when I heard my first gunfire. Child today, 5 years old, not only heard gunfire, but tell you the caliber of the gun. So my whole thing now is try to get these kids to put these guns down. So that's why I'm at with that, ma'am. That's why I'm running for the 20th ward, along with the fact that last year I was in the hospital, had a major operation and everything. Notice that there were no...
Oh, hold on, Cliff.
Yes, ma'am.
Cliff, I think we've got a caller. Caller?
Okay. All right, come on.
Caller? Do we have a caller?
Yes, Miss Kowalski.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
Oh, fine. Did you tell me?
Wait, Ray. Did you have your birthday? I thought your birthday was in July.
No. My birthday was March.
Oh, okay. How have you been doing, Ray?
Oh, better now since you're back on the air.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you have a question for Mr. Pierce? He's running for alderman in the 20th Ward.
Yes, but I want you to ask him, does he know who gave the name Kowalski? The idea for the coal, the wall, and the skis. You know that?
Mr. Pierce, do you know who gave me the idea for the picture of the coal and the wall and the skis?
Is that right?
I believe it was Ray. Thank you, Ray. I owe you that. You get a copyright on that one, Ray.
A picture worth 1,000 words, so that's great. What was this question on?
Ray, do you have a question for Mr. Pierce? Oh, I think we lost him. Is there another question, caller?
Well, hiya, Mrs. Kowalski.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Jan. It's so good to see you on that TV.
Thank you, Paula.
Hello, Mr. 20th Ward. How are you this evening? Can you hear me?
No, not really. What did she say?
She says, how are you doing this
Oh,
morning?
great. Appreciate you asking. I'm really feeling great. Very excited about getting this opportunity to speak with everyone.
You're on a good TV show, sir. You're doing real good. That's a real good start where you're at, sir.
Well, I'm blessed like that. I'm blessed.
Yes, you are.
This is not luck. This is a blessing.
We could all see you. Yes, sir. So you're running in the 20th Ward down there in the Woodlawn area, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Well, believe it or not, it goes from 65th and Stony all the way to 47th and Walcott. Okay, that's America.
Uh-huh.
That's America. All the ethnic groups in the world is encompassed in that particular ward. So what I plan to do, lots of times you hear politicians say that, well, when I come in here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to come in and do that. Each community needs something different. So what I plan to do is just ride through the communities and ask what they need done.
Absolutely. You're going to have your hands full.
Yeah, I know it. But I've been a winner all my life. I'm blessed like that.
That's right. Listen, Mr. 20th Ward, I advise you to hire Miss Jan Kowalski next to you.
Why you think I'm sitting next to her like this? Believe me, I've already taken an application with her. Thank you.
She's smart. She's wonderful. She noticed her. Mr. 20th Ward, let's get back to that gangbanging situation you're talking about.
Let's get back to this gangbanging situation. She wants to know what you're going to do, right, Paula?
Yes, I do. I have
Well, first of all, believe it or not, I know most of those guys.
You old school.
Back in the days when I was coming up, the Blackstone Rangers was being formed, the Disciples and all of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I was never forced to join those gangs because I could play baseball and I could dance.
There you go.
And back then you had a pass. Now those guys are older seniors like myself, and they don't want their kids to go through that, and I'm going right at them. I know them personally. Let me give an example. For instance, last year, we called ourselves the OGs. I was never in a gang, but I've always known all of them. And last year, all the ex-offenders and all the old gang heads got together. We called ourselves the OGs, and we gave a picnic in the park for the kids, Palmer Park. We fed over 400 kids, hot dogs, potato chips, the whole 9 yards. And what I'm trying to do here is bring all the OGs together and let us go walk in the community and talk to these kids. And a lot of these kids are our very own kids. Fortunately for me, I don't have a child in problems like that. But it's going to take us guys like us to get to these kids and talk to them and tell them the importance of putting that gun down.
Absolutely. But what I'm trying to say is you got new G's now. You got little G's now. The city's full of them
I'm listening
now.
at you.
Yes, sir. And let me tell you something. I remember back in the day, y'all had the guardian angels. Those boys that used to wear the red jackets up on the CTA, red line, blue line, green line, purple line. They ain't around no more because the big boys don't want them around no more. You got all these carjackings, slicings of the throat, shooting up, cutting grandma and throwing her in 2 bags in a garage. You got your hands full, sir. I tell you, the OGDs, we knew when to stop. We knew when to stop. We knew the limit when to stop. Now, this city toe up from the flow up. Do you remember that saying?
Yes.
Toe up from the flow up. We got to get inside these gang bangs. What you want? What you fighting for? Where the territories at? Ain't no territories no more.
Right.
We got medical marijuana now. Everybody know where to get this stuff. West End, Parkside, Chicago Avenue. Let me tell you something. I used to live in the Austin neighborhood.
Very opinionated.
Back in the 80s. And there was no problem down there. Everything was real good. Then we got Danny Davis in there. We all hired Danny Davis to help us out down in there. We told for him. But now it's out of control, Mr. 20th Ward. It's dangerous. They shooting up babies' birthday parties.
Yeah,
what's going
terrible.
on? We got to see, like Marvin Gaye used to say, what's going on? What's going on? We got
Are you singing now, Paula?
Well, Paula, let me say something.
bottom. I want to be able to walk on 63rd and Stone Drive someday. And
Well, Mr. Davis, what are you going to do about this?
Well,
Sorry,
here.
Clifton.
Well, you know, what I want to say here is that if you know the story in the
Oh, wait a minute.
Bible.
Hold on. We have another caller.
Okay.
Caller, do you have a comment or question for Mr. Pierce?
Yes, I do.
Hi again, Ray. We lost you.
Yeah, I was cut off, but they put me right back on.
All right. Do you have a
Sure.
question for Mr. Pierce?
I sure do. But first, a quick comment. He knows what's going on because he knows family is first. If you
Family is first.
family is always first, even if they mess up. So what? They're your
Especially if they mess up. It's
Yeah,
called mercy. It's
because-
called family.
Yeah, because listen, I have a brother. He went to prison. He came back out. I had a friend that had a penny company.
Uh-huh.
I asked him if he would do me a favor and hire my brother. He did. That was 20 years ago. Now, he has his own painting company.
I
He
believe
has
it. There you go.
shoes. He's making money only because his family believed
Stood up
in him.
for him.
If his family didn't do that, he'd be in the streets right now. But now, sir, I want to say this to you. The way you talk, I like it. If I was in the 20th Ward, if my family was in the 20th Ward and they didn't vote for you, I'd boot them out of the 20th Ward. You
What was that, ma'am?
know what's
He
coming
says
up.
he's telling people to vote for you, Mr. Pierce. He likes the way you talk. I agree.
Well, I want to tell a story if I can. In the Bible, the story of Gideon. Gideon was getting ready to fight an army that had 10,000, and he had 3,000. And God told him he had too many. And he whittled it all the way down till he had the 300. Then God told him, let's roll. So the point I'm trying to say here, my father has me doing this. I'd rather be out dancing and boogalooing. But I refuse, yes, but I refuse to let happen.
Mr. Pierce.
I refuse to let happen what's going on in my neighborhood, and I got power. I refuse. God is on my side. And then not only is God on my side, when I look up and I see people like you all who are calling in, asking, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? Meeting Jan today, and being able to have access to her in this television program. So this is not me. If I win that alderman seat, I'm going to say this right now. If I win that alderman seat, my table will be a round table. It won't be a rectangular table. Everybody's going to be able to sit at my table. And nobody's going to be a big eye and a little you. It's going to be all of us together as a group, because I believe in the family and I believe in the team concept. And if you're talking about taking care of our seniors, I want you on my team. If you're talking about taking care of our kids, I want you on my team. Okay, if you're talking about education, listen, a kid that's got a job, first of all, he got to sleep 8 hours. Then he got to work 8 hours. So that only leaves 8 hours for him to get in trouble. Okay, so
There's a saying about idle hands. I don't remember what that
idle mind is the devil's workshop, and I'm just saying.
There you go.
Listen, all I'm talking about here is ABCs. I don't have any magic formula, but the kids to do what's right, and do what's right is just do what's right. That's all. Take care of your people, get them jobs. I don't want to just be alderman and just say I got a job. One of the first things I'm gonna do, and you can hold me to this if I win the job. They make like $125,000 a year.
Ooh, sweet.
On the $125,000 a year on this job. I'm gonna donate half of my salary to any nonprofit organizations in my ward. That's number one.
Did you hear that? We're going to hold him to this.
Yeah, you hold me to that. The next thing is, I don't just want to get there and be there. I want to be able to do something. I don't want just to be there for the sake of saying I'm an alderman. Okay, while I was in the hospital, I noticed there were no young blacks working in the field. I contacted Malcolm X College, and they got a program where you can go 10 weeks, you can be a nurse at age, you go 2 years, and you can be a nurse. I'm not advocating for a kid to go to college, because kids that want to go to college, they're already motivated. But what about those that can be carpenters and plumbers and electricians? I just recently had all this with the mayor. Okay, and there's so much work going on in the city of Chicago that they're bringing outside workers from Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin to do the work because we don't have the skilled labor to do that work. So I want my kids to learn how to be carpenters, plumbers, electricians, the whole 9 yards. Right now, if you live in CHA, they got a program where for the women that if you go to a 10-week course, after that 10-week course, they'll give you a $5,000 grant to start your own business. So I don't just want to be there and say I got a job. I want to be doing things. That's where I'm at. And with you all's help, I can do this. I'm not no politician.
Hold on, Mr. Pierce. Hold on. We've got another caller. Caller, do you have a comment or question for prospective Alderman Pierce?
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Listen, real quick, I'm going to make this hurry. It's so good to see you again, man. Listen, back in the day when Vododiak used to be the ambulance tracer, you remember that? Up on 79th Street. I want to mention some names, but it's better to leave it alone. But it's so wonderful to see that you're still around. Ward and Lorraine, they was up at the apartment lounge. If I say something on 71st Street, my mom and them had the lounges down there. Listen, those was the days, man. 79th Street, oh my God, 75th Street, 71st Street. But there's still some of us still living, and we made it. We all got stories to give. But listen, God bless us to do things, to have a little chance to help other people. What you do, you got to give back was given to you so freely. Listen, you make me remember back in the days. You know, I loved your place. I remember the days.
Oh, do you? You remember that?
Yes, let me tell you something, but we still here. And the reason why we're still here. So again, I hope you do what you want to do. Big Steve, that's all I want to tell you. Gator, that's all I want to tell you. Old stories down on 63rd Street. Listen, I want you to have a great day, safe day. I wish you all the luck that you're trying to do. Let's try to make these younger people better people like we were back in those days. We might have did stupid things, but we were good people. Thank you for taking the call.
No
Let me get out there so I can hear your response.
Okay, what was this comment? I couldn't really hear.
I think when we're young, we all get to do stupid things. But I kind of agree. I wish we could bring back the grandeur of the streets and the lounges over there.
Oh, absolutely. When you got businesses, see, everybody feeds off of the nightclub business. You know, excuse me. When you got a nightclub, that means the guy got to have his clothes clean, got to have his shoes shine, he got to go to the restaurant, got to use cabs. All that happens when you got a nightclub. A lot of your problems don't happen in a nightclub. It be surrounding and surroundings. But when nurses get up early, 6 o'clock in the morning, and that club is still just closing, or they're in restaurants eating, that's all part of a trickle-down situation. And you know, like in the case of Trump is creating more people that are astute to politics than ever before. So I'm glad right about through here that he's doing what he's doing, because he's finding out that you have to vote. You know, I'm going to give you an example about what...
You have to vote. I absolutely agree.
Listen, I'm going to give you an example of what's going on here, and check me, because I don't know everything. All I know is what's right and what's wrong. But there's 25,000 registered voters in Woodlawn. Out of 25,000 people, with a governor like Rauner, okay, and a president like Trump, out of 25,000 people in Woodlawn alone, only 300 people voted.
Well,
What sense does that make? What sense does that make? And one of the things I plan to do is create a Harold Washington type mentality. When Harold ran, if you didn't have a Harold button, you wasn't black. Okay? And my running for office is not a situation of being black. It's being concerned with your community. Woodlawn is steadily growing. It's an integrated community that is going to get even bigger with this Obama library. And we got to have people who have like minds, who care about our community. They got a program right now that the city has that if you're a nonprofit organization, you can request funds to clean up the alley on your block that you're in. Young lady that I know, she got a place called Prosperity House. And she got a $1,500 grant just to cut the trees and bushes down on her block. So there's a lot of programs that are going on, but for some strange reason, our elected officials don't even tell the people. And see, that's the difference between me, I believe. I'm going down there to do a job. I'm not going down there to get a job. Okay? They get money to run their ward, yet they do nothing. One of the problems I have with these parking meters, okay, here's a person come in a restaurant, Okay, he got to sit there an hour to get his food and eat. Meanwhile, he go out there, he got a $50 parking ticket on his car. You think he's coming back?
They are way more than $50.
I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be polite.
They're way more.
But do you think
Chicago's got the highest
do you
parking
think he's
tickets in
coming
the country.
back after that? Do you think he's coming back? And then another thing is that these taxes. When you have a community with no businesses, you're not generating any tax money. So therefore, you don't get any help. They look at who voted, decide where they get the money. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about. If you get in your car and drive your car and don't put no gas in it, it's going to stop running. Okay? Now, I say that to say about these businesses in our community, preferably the Arab business and the Indian business and the gas stations and everything. How can they make all the money, put it in a Crown Royal bag, and leave the community? Okay, I had a store on 82nd and Cottage. I had a clothing store. I took my clothes to clean across the street. They had a soul food restaurant in the middle of the block. I went there and ate with them. Then I wanted some barbecue. I went down to Leon's Barbecue. In other words, my whole money that I was making stayed in my community. You got a grocery store now that's owned by somebody who's not our kind, and he takes every dime out. And I just don't understand that. What I would like to do, if you're going to do business in my community, you have to bank in my community too. Right now, I'm sitting over there in Daly's restaurant there on 63rd right off of Cottage. Place starting to get mixed, okay, and basically a Greek-owned place with a lot of black clientele, black people working. Across the street, they building a new Daly's. I sit there in the window and watch, and I watch 15 workers working, not one black working. You're just not going to work in my community, and my people don't work.
Well, you know, I unfortunately don't agree with you, Mr. Pierce. I think that's just another form of racial discrimination.
Come on now.
But anyways, thank you for watching and participating in today's show. And I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald with Greenslate 1. And my guest tonight has been Clifton Pierce, a candidate for the 20th Ward election coming up in November. And thank you, Mr. Pierce, for joining us.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Yes, I do.
And thank you, and good night.